Should you buy or rent in 2025?
I mean, I think, I don't know, that's a difficult question because it's really location specific. I mean, that's a very difficult question. I think it depends on how much personal satisfaction. If you, just from a financial point of view, let's say you have no personal satisfaction in owning versus renting. You just want to make a great financial decision. I'd probably rent. I'd probably rent for a while. I don't think real estate's probably going up. Maybe flatline for a little bit. If you can get a good rental, then rent. I don't know why people always think, oh, I don't want to throw my money away, in rent. I mean, if you own, you're throwing your money away on interest at a bank. It's no different. I've never understood the argument why owning is inherently better than renting, unless you care about it, unless you factor appreciation. But if you can rent for, $6,000 a month and it's going to cost you $9,000 a month to own, unless you think interest rates are going to go way down and you refinance, or you get a really good deal, I would probably just, stay renting until things look like they're a little bit more optimistic or positive. And it really, again, it's very location specific. I would not buy in all these areas that blew up: Miami, Austin, Las Vegas, Nashville. I wouldn't get near those places. I wouldn't get near those places right now. Those places have another 10 to 30% downward trajectory before they flatline. And the other thing is there's no supply limitations in those cities. I mean, every 250 square feet of land in Miami you can build 1,000, condos. Austin can be built out. Vegas can be built out. There's no limitation on land in these places. So that's where you get crushed in real estate. If you're going to buy real estate, that's why Newport Beach does so well. There's just no land. And so if you buy something with good land in a place where there's limited supply of land, you're going to do really well.
So what's your investing philosophy for 2025 and 2026? What are you doing with your money?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. I'm putting it in 30-year Treasury bills.
Okay, so we actually just talked about this, what was that, yesterday? You put how much into a 30-year Treasury bill?
Well, I put $2 million into an ETF called TMF, which is like a leveraged. It's like so it'd be the equivalent of buying $6 million in Treasury bills. It's 3 times leveraged. I'm just making a bet. Well, first of all, you get a 4.5% to 5% guaranteed return on your money. That's the yield because of the underlying asset, which is a Treasury, so it pays you a yield. So you're already going to get a 4.5 to 4 to 5% return. Then, if interest rates come down, which I'm very certain, I'm quite confident that they are, and Treasury yields come down, so like a 30-year right now pays at about 4.8%. If that goes, let's say next year it's at 3.8%, which I think it will be, then my $2 million will be worth like $3 million. So you can make a lot of money on reselling the bond because if the yield comes down, the value of the Treasury goes up. So you're getting your guaranteed return, and then you're making it's a little.
So what I was showing Jack is the day after you said that you bought into that, it was up about 4.5%.
Yeah, I made $100K on the day after my investment from that because the jobs report came in weak. Yeah, but this is a long term for me. So,
I understand.
I also like the stock market. I also have a lot of money in the stock market. I invested on Liberation Day. Remember when the market crashed? I put a ton of money in the stock market. So I'm not I like real estate. I'm more of an opportunistic investor. When COVID hit the market, I put all my money in.
Yeah. So what's the most you ever lost on an investment?
Well, I bought 3 soccer cards like a year ago. This gold, it's 2014 Panini Prism Gold, Messi and Ronaldo. I paid $80,000 for these 3 cards. And then like 2 months ago, they'd gone up to like $275,000 and I sold them. And had I held like another 8 weeks, now they're worth like $700,000.
That doesn't count as you losing money.
In terms of like thought out investments, I've done pretty well on those.
How do you always make money? It seems like any time you say, "Oh, I'm buying this," it goes up.
You know why?
Value.
Because I don't listen to anyone else ever, really. I just think there's too many pundits, too much talk, and people overanalyze. I'm very simplistic. I take a very macro look at what's going on. Perfect example. My biggest investment ever. I put all my money into the stock market when it crashed in COVID. I thought this was an overreaction. The market's going to recover. No. Of course it's going to recover. I doubled my money in 12 months. That's common sense. When the market crashed because of Trump announced tariffs and it went down like, I don't know, 20, 25%, I said, oh, that's obviously an overreaction. People generally overreact. So I put, a ton of money into the market then. When Netflix was down to like, I don't know, I forget what it was, like $200 a share. I'm like, this stock has crashed way too much. This is a massive company. It's going to rebound. So put some money in that. Interest rates. It's pretty common sense right now. You don't need to do a bunch of, you don't need to be a bond trader to figure out that the 30-year yield on an American Treasury bill is 5%. You know what China pays their investors? That if you buy a Chinese 30-year Treasury bill, you get 2%. If you buy a German 30-year Treasury bill, you get 3.3%. And yet America, the most safe investment on planet Earth, far safer than a Chinese 30-year bond, safer than a German bond. It's arguably considered the safest bond in the world, is paying 5%. It doesn't even make sense. I know that there are reasons for that, like currency exchanges and inflation risk and like that, but that's when you get too much in the weeds. It's like, just shut up with all the details. Like, macro approach, it doesn't make sense that you could buy a risk-free government bond and get a guaranteed 5% return.
You don't think there's any chance that the 10 or 30-year Treasury stays high because people say the United States is printing too much money? Maybe there's a bit of a risk here with tariffs. Maybe we're less bullish on the economy. We don't know what's going to happen. Do you think there's any chance it stays?
There's always a chance.
Expected?
There's no way that it's 100% guarantee. I'd say it's an 80% chance that the 30-year Treasury is in the threes. The yield is in the threes within 12 to 18 months.
And what do you think that's going to do to real estate prices?
It'll increase prices, but it'll also increase supply. So I don't think it's going to be a direct correlation like, oh, interest rates are down. I mean, if interest rates go back down to where they were, which they will not, we would see a massive, increase in prices. Interest rates are not going to go back down to 2% or even 3%. If you can go out and get a 30-year loan at 4.5%, that's probably where we should be at right now. And I think we'll get there in the next couple of years. But again, the problem is it's going to increase a lot of supply. So you're going to see more supply come in the market, and you're going to see more buyers able to afford those houses. So it's good for real estate agents because we work on volume. I think prices will go up, but 5-10%, not 25%.
If you've ever been denied a car loan, credit card, or even an apartment because of what's on your credit report, you are not alone. Most people don't even know what's hurting their credit score, let alone how to fix it. That is exactly where our sponsor DisputeBeast comes in. It's an AI-powered platform that helps you find and remove outdated or inaccurate items from your credit report fast.
We're talking things like late payments, old accounts and collections, or even accounts that don't belong to you. Not to mention, how it works is super easy. You connect your credit report and DisputeBeast scans it for negative marks that could be dragging down your score. Then it generates custom dispute letters tailored for your situation. No templates and no guesswork.
You could choose to just download the data and send it to the agencies yourself, or you can use their built-in mail service where they will literally handle everything for you.
It's honestly just really clean and simple to use, and it's built by experts.
So if you're ready to take back control of your credit, go to DisputeBeast.com/ICH today. There's also a link down below in the description, DisputeBeast.com/ICH. Guys, they will literally handle everything for you. If you're dissatisfied with your credit, they will do all of the research, let you know what's going wrong, and they will fight for you. DisputeBeast.com/ICH. Thank you so much to DisputeBeast for sponsoring this clip.